Here's one of the latest interviews from Rock and Metal Revival. If you want to hear the whole show, go to rmrshow.com.
There is brand new music from Michael Sweet. It's his brand new single called Bizarre from the CD One-Sided War. And Jerry, I don't think my stereo speakers have recovered yet.
Yeah, you could definitely damage them if you crank this up.
Oh.
This is some good stuff, though, man, really.
This is outstanding, and we are fortunate enough to have him back on the show with us again. We'd like to welcome to the show Michael Sweet. Welcome to the show, Michael.
You guys are making me like 3 shades of red right now, man.
Dude, I over the years I've seen a lot. I've seen you with Stryper and your last, your other solo projects and stuff. But I'll tell you, this one is I don't know what to say. I don't even know the adjectives to use to describe it. It's unbelievable.
Well, probably most Stryper fans don't want you to use the 4-letter word ones,
Yeah.
But those kinds of words. But you know what, man? It's the kind of album that kind of brings out. I've heard a couple of people say that they've been listening to Bizarre and they can't drive slow.
It's a speeding ticket.
And I think that kind of sums it up. It is one of those songs, and the album, I think, as a whole, it is one of those albums that just kind of pumps you up and makes you want to turn it up. And, that's what I miss about the 80s and miss about rock music in general, is back in the days, in the 80s, you got a lot of that.
Yeah.
You got that stuff that you heard for the first time and made your head spin around and go, what's that? Mm-hmm. And that was the point of this album. That was the goal of this album.
Well, you certainly achieved that. I mean, you got some, besides yourself, you got some heavy-hitting guitar slingers on this one.
Absolutely, man. I had said before I recorded this album that I really wanted to shine as a player. And as I got more and more into it, I played all the rhythms on it and most of the overdubs and some of the solos. And as I started working out solos for songs that Ethan Brosh played on and songs that Joel Hoekstra played on, I started realizing, it's sounding a little too much like a Stryper album and less what I had envisioned. And I made the phone call to Joel and to Ethan, and, they're just two brilliant players. I love them. I love them as people. I love them as players. And they really took the album to levels that I could never take it to. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's some great shredding on here. I think we've had Ethan Brosh on the show before. Well,
yeah, we have.
Who was he with before?
He's done a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of solo stuff. He's toured with a number of bands over the years, and he's done instrumental albums. He actually did a really cool video with George Lynch.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
He's a shredder. He's a local guitar hero, a Berkeley guy.
Yeah,
and he takes you back to the days when there were guitar gods and guitar heroes, and Ethan is one of those guys.
Yeah,
I think we've seen him with Red Dragon Cartel. He was one of
That's right, he did. He played with Red Dragon, toured with them for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Mike, I gotta ask, how do you keep your voice so strong? I mean, you haven't lost a step since the first Stryper album, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but from going back and listening through all your stuff, I'm like, how does he keep that voice so strong?
You know what, man? I'll tell you, I definitely lost some of my range over the years, but I don't know or think that that's necessarily a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sing like I used to. I mean, I used to have a much higher voice, a much higher speaking voice. I talked more like this, back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And, I sang a lot higher. But I think because my voice was so high before, now that it's come down in range, it almost seems as though it's more acceptable to people now. So, it's worked in my favor in some ways.
Okay.
Have you found tuning down a little bit helps, or?
You know what? We don't tune down yet. We tune in the original keys.
Nice.
And the only songs we tune down on are the songs that, like for example, King of Kings on the new album Fallen, Big Screen Lies.
Okay.
We drop our low E, which is at E flat, down to C sharp, down a full step.
Yeah.
So it's the old Van Halen Unchained tuning.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, Michael, I saw not too long ago you were celebrating 30 years of Soldiers Under Command, I think it was.
Now, well, no, 30 years of To Hell with the Devil coming up in October.
That's right, and coming up in October. Did you back at that time ever envision 30 years later, man, people would still be digging that album?
You know what, man? I didn't. I didn't really think about the future. I took it one day at a time, and I lived for the day and tried to enjoy every moment of it. And so because of that, I never really thought long term. Now I do.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think long term. And I think in those ways, like, hey, I wonder if Fallen in 30 years is going to, I do think like that.
Yeah.
But I never did back then. I was only 25, 26 years old. What am I saying? I was 20. When To Hell came out, I was 23 years old.
Ooh, wow.
When Soldiers came out, I was 22. So I was just a whippersnapper, and I was just enjoying, the rush of everything around me, touring and being able to live out my dreams at such an early age.
Now, do you find that the Stryper fans look at your solo career a little differently than they would look at a new Stryper album?
I do. I don't know that they necessarily say that, but the actions kind of prove that to be the case. I sadly, I get a lot of support from the Stryper fans, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they all come on board. And it's kind of sad because, especially with an album like this, it's every bit as good. And I say this, with no ego whatsoever. I think I'm just trying to speak frankly and honestly with you and give my opinion. I think it holds its own against any Stryper album.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I really think it does, and it's right on par with that. And it's kind of sad because for those small amount of Stryper fans that won't give it a chance because they feel like I'm abandoning Stryper, or there's a possibility I'm going to leave Stryper because of this and all that stuff. It's sad because they don't give it a chance. They won't listen to it. They won't view it. And I've had people tell me that. That's why I know what I'm saying is accurate. But I do appreciate most of the Stryper fans that do support what I do and come on board. I'm not leaving Stryper. There's no plans of that at all in the near future. That could happen down the road. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, Oz could leave Stryper.
Yeah.
That's
Robert
true.
could leave Stryper. I mean,
Yeah.
any one of us could at any given time. But there are no plans of that. We're all getting along. We're all having fun, and we're all we still feel the calling to do what we do.
Cool. Now, I was looking on your website, looking at the Rat Pack packages and stuff that they got for this album. It's like crazy. I saw who makes the Flying V guitar there? Is that a Jackson or is that something else?
That is a new company I just did a deal with, and I couldn't be more happy. Best company I've ever worked with, and it's Washburn Guitars.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of the few guys there. Nuno's another guy that's there.
Yeah.
Ola England and myself and just a few other people. But, man, they are the nicest bunch of people, and they made me the most absolute killer guitars I've ever played.
Sweet. I actually build guitars, and I'm a fan of the pointy guitar, so I love those Randy Rhoads kind of pointy guitars. They're just awesome.
Yeah, me too. The only thing I'm not a fan of is when you travel, they get thrown around and they're more prone to chipping.
Yeah. Those things chip, yeah.
That sucks. Both of my points are chipped, and it happens, but oh well.
Yeah, they don't make good stands for them. You got to get, you go set it on a regular stand, and those chipped corners hit the floor, and boom.
Exactly.
Not
And what I do, that's why I carry lots of Sharpies with me.
There you go, yeah.
Break out the Sharpie and make it black again, and you can't even tell. But
Hey, Michael, one of the tunes that I'm really digging on this CD is called Radio. Now, I know a lot of my friends in the music business that live in Nashville who used to be in the big hair units back in the 80s. Like there's a whole community of them down there. Was that song kind of sent at them?
Yeah, that song is, and it's supposed to be. It's not done in a mean-spirited way.
No.
Because I've done it.
Yeah.
And I've written songs that have country flair to them. On the last album I did, a song called Coming Home.
Yeah.
Had steel guitar on there, and it was very country-esque. I've co-written songs on this album, as a matter of fact. The song One-Sided War is co-written by myself and Blair Daly. And Blair's written a bunch of country songs in Nashville. And, Bruce Wallace co-wrote Only You on this album.
Okay.
And he's a big country guy. So, I mean, those guys are some of the best writers in the world. And there's a reason why there's so many, hit country songs because they're incredible writers. But what I'm doing is I'm kind of laughing at, in the song and the video, the whole guys like Steven Tyler and Bret Michaels and that all of a sudden throw on a cowboy hat and cowboy boots and they're yee-haw, and it's like,
it's like selling out. It's like,
it just I don't buy it myself.
No, not at all.
And I'm just giving my opinion. I don't. It's not believable.
Exactly.
It's not real. You know when someone's really country, and you know when someone's really rock.
Exactly.
And you know when they're faking it. The fans aren't dumb; they know it. Now, if they all step into it with the attitude of, "Hey, I know this is fake," then fine, so be it. And I wish Stephen well and anyone else that does it. But this song and video is just kind of saying, "Hey, I'm going to write a country song, and it won't be long till I'm on the radio. And when it goes to number one, I'm going to fake the fun like a clown in a rodeo." And that's kind of the point of the song. And you're supposed to watch it and listen and laugh.
I'm looking forward to seeing that video.
Big time.
Do you got a really big belt buckle in it?
Got a big belt buckle.
Nice.
I got a nice shot of my cowboy boots, my big 5-gallon black hat.
Nice.
I've got a shot, we're talking about like trucks and guns and all that's in it, man.
Yeah. You got like what is that, a mandolin or
that's a banjo.
Banjo.
That's
opening?
an electric banjo, distorted. And
Nice.
I wanted to add some kind of country flair musically to it.
Nice. You could have added some cowbell.
No, man.
Come on.
I could absolutely. That's a perfect song for cowbell.
Well, before we came on, you were telling us about the song "Golden Age" is going to be coming out also real soon. You want to tell us about that release?
Yeah, there's some songs. I don't ever sit down and say, okay, I'm going to write a song that sounds like Priest. Or, okay, now I'm going to write a song that sounds like Dio, or now I'm going to write a song that sounds like Van Halen. I don't ever do that. But you hear, certainly, because those are all influences of mine, you can hear some of those flavors in, like, say, Bizarre. You hear a little Van Halen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In Golden Age, you might hear a little Priest. In I Am, you might hear a little Dio.
Mm-hmm.
And, I love those bands, man, and growing up, those are the bands that influenced me as a writer, a player, a singer, big time.
Yeah. All right, well, we want to make sure everybody know. When's the release of the album coming out?
The official release is August 26th, so we're less than 4 weeks away.
Sweet.
Excellent.
And we do have another video no one knows about yet, now they will, coming for the song Golden Age.
Nice.
Cool. And it's a lyric video, but it's also a concept video. Not a concept video, but it's got other footage, and it's got footage of me singing it and footage of Ethan playing it. So it's not just a boring lyric video,
Oh, okay. Cool.
That's coming soon, and then we have a music video for radio.
All right. Excellent.
That'd be awesome.
And then you've got all the Rat Pack, the special pre-orders going on right now. Rat Pack does a super job promoting their artists.
They're killer, man. They do. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to work with them, is because I was watching them for a while, and what a great job they did on all their releases. And they just kill it. They kill it. They sell albums. They put together amazing packages, and a lot of other labels go through companies like Pledge.
Yeah.
Which I'm sorry, nothing against Pledge, but I just think that's stupid.
Yeah.
And I've experienced that with the Sweet and Lynch album.
Yeah,
we worked with Pledge, and basically Pledge got a big piece of the pie, and then Frontiers got a big piece of the pie, and then George and I basically saw nothing.
Oh,
that's not right.
That's not good at all, man.
We got our advance, but we haven't seen any royalties to this day, and I don't know if we will, but, it's just silly, absolute silliness. There's no reason why the label or the artist can't do that.
Yeah.
And I just view Pledge as kind of a third wheel.
Yeah. Somebody getting their fingers in.
Yeah.
I kind of scratch my head over why a lot of people do that, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. So,
I'm Mr. Opinionated today, aren't I?
It's okay with us, man.
I just wish you'd cut down on the cussing, though.
Oh well, yeah. If you want to hear that, man, you guys are going to have to interview Sebastian Bach.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's okay. We're fine with it.
I was impressed with all the cussing on this new album, though.
There is a couple of cuss words on it. I think you get a damn a couple times.
Yeah,
man.
I know, man. I'm pushing the boundaries.
You're pushing the envelope here.
You are.
Tell me about it.
So, are there any plans to do any touring on this?
Well, I mean, there's always plans to do touring. There was with the Sweet and Lynch album, and that didn't happen. But for sure, I've got to get out and do some touring next year, solo. I haven't toured since 2000 solo.
Yeah, because these are great songs.
I'd love to see them live.
Yeah. Holy cow!
Yeah, I got it, and I want to assemble a really killer band. Hopefully, Ethan, and just a great band that makes people. I love looking out in the crowd and having a band. I had this back years ago, having a band where people don't really know what to say and their mouths are open.
Yeah,
exactly.
And people are just shredding up there, and it's so tight. And that's the kind of band I want to assemble for this tour.
This is very cool. Well, Michael, we appreciate you coming on Rock and Metal Revival today, and we're here anytime you need to promote something. But what do you say? We should play Golden Age, or should we play radio?
Oh my gosh, man! I would say play radio because radio is so different from Bizarre.
Okay.
It's a fun song. If you listen to the lyric and you smile along with listening, I think you get it. And it's really different. It's got a great groove, and it's probably one of my favorite songs on the album.
All right.
Sweet.
Michael Sweet, thank you for coming on RMR.
Thank you, guys.
To catch the whole show of Rock and Metal Revival, all you have to do is check it out on these affiliates. Megarock Radios on Saturdays from 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and on Uncontrolled Noize Tuesdays at 1 a.m., Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on UncontrolledNoise.com. And make sure that you leave them a message and tell them that you found Rock and Metal Revival on their stations.